I want to just outline the number of notches that Obama has in his pitchfork. In the old Western days, the Gunsmoke days, the Lone Ranger days, the Roy Roger days, the bad guys or the good guys would put a notch in their gun when they had a victory. And usually they shot somebody down at the OK Corral. Well, President Obama has 9 significant notches in his pitchfork, and I just want to take the time to illuminate them before you today because I think it's important. I'm convinced that the American people are going to wake up right now and recognize that Washington is dysfunctional and is absolutely asinine to expect anybody in either of those parties to represent America, to represent the Constitution or the Word of God. They're going to wake up and feel that this is the case, and at the point when they do, I want to be on record as outlining where we went wrong and how. But the notches that Obama has on his pitchfork, notch number 1, is that he defeated the Clintons. And that was a pretty significant notch. It was his first one, but he was able to do it through the auspices of those things that I gave vent to a few moments ago in my segment called the birth certificate trap. He defeated perhaps the strongest, most powerful, most popular couple in politics in the history of America, and he walked over them like they were paper dolls. That was a significant win, an extraordinary victory, and that was notch number 1. The other notch, number 2, and I'm going to use a term that the young people use to draw your attention to this notch, is that he punked John McCain in 2008. John McCain initially thought that he was going to be able to defeat Obama without very much effort by simply walking across the aisle and attracting some of the liberals and Democrats to his ideas, that he would go into the middle where the politicians see that's where the elections are won, and with the moderates, not with the hardcore left or right. And he made an attempt to do that. And he thought that he could, but John McCain was up against a tall, lanky, if you will, well-spoken black man, or alleged to be black man. And America was just on edge because all of the things that he had done, the media had, in terms of being in Jeremiah Wright's church for 20 years. And people said, that don't mean a thing that you were at Jeremiah Wright church for 20 years. You're not like Jeremiah Wright. And the media came, both the conservative and Republican, the liberal media, presented Obama as the boy next door. You know, spotless, clean cut. I mean, you would have thought he was one of the members of the Beach Boys, the way the media presented him. Oh, what a nice fella he is. So John McCain got punked, if you will, in that approach. Early on, and I want you to look, those of you who are in disagreement with me and you know, you got a bone you want to pick with me, I want you to pay careful attention to something. Going back to 2008 during the election, Fox News, Roger Ailes sent Bill Hemmer up to Columbia University to investigate as to whether or not Obama went to Columbia. Because ABC News reporter George Stephanopoulos said that he was a political science major at Columbia University in one of the years that Obama alleged to have been there, and he doesn't remember him. Moreover, he doesn't remember anybody, he doesn't know anybody who remembers him. Wayne Allen Root then chimed in, who was of the same 2 years that Obama was there, who was in the same political science class group, and graduated the same year that Obama would have graduated from Columbia University. was the keynote speaker at the 25th anniversary in 2008 rather, of the political science class, and Wayne Allen Root says he doesn't remember. Not only that, but Obama didn't show up for the class reunion. Nobody in the class reunion remembers Obama. So Fox News thought they had something. So they ran up to Columbia, sent Bill Hemmer up there, who spent several months interviewing as many as 400 people. Now, those of you who write to me all the time and say, why am I against Bill O'Reilly? Because, you know, he gives us a little bit of the truth. Why am I protesting Rush Limbaugh? But think about this for just a second. Fox News at one point investigated Obama and discovered, after interviewing 400 people, that includes teachers, retired professors, people in the environment, storekeepers, shopkeepers, students, all 400 people all titled, and not one of 400 people remember Obama ever setting foot or being seen in any class or interacting with anybody at Columbia University in the years that he alleged to have gone there. And Fox News published this, the Wall Street Journal published it, and it became a hot story until the events, of course, that Obama using the powers that he used to stop that story. But that was notch number 3, where Obama was able to actually take down a documented story that he never attended Columbia University. Notch number 4, which is a part of the process. Now he goes forward and he realizes that he's got George Bush, George Tenet, Dick Cheney, Hillary, Bill Clinton. He's got the leadership of the Democrat Party and others in such a conspiracy of not telling the American people who Obama was, that he now controls the media. He controls what goes in, what goes out. A writer for the Washington Post, whose name escapes me, recently wrote an article last week that Obama is the most controlling of information president that has ever been in the history of the world. And because he knows that no media person can rise against him. So he has co-opted the media, and he was able to get Bill O'Reilly, that big mouthpiece, to come out and said, I have seen the birth certificate, end of story. And he also got Bill O'Reilly's sidekick, his Tonto, who at the time was Glenn Beck, who also said birthers are crazy, they are stupid, they are un-American, they are racist, he said of birthers, and that was notch number 4. At that point, both Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck became powerhouses in the media ratings game, because they were now attracting people to them that they had the solution. Dr. Beck and Dr. O'Reilly had the solution to defeating Obama. We're going to get him in the 2012 election. What a joke that was. But notch number 5, Obama passed Obamacare. I'm not the best historian or political analysis or analytical person, but I remember that Teddy Roosevelt, among many other things, said that before he went off to the swamplands of the Amazon River in South America, that America needed a national health care program. And he suggested it to the Congress that they would examine it. It went nowhere. But that dates it. It puts the whole quest for health care as a national program all the way back over 100 years. And many people have tried. Bill Clinton probably could have succeeded, but he allowed his wife Hillary to get out there at front, and people didn't like Hillary, and so they slammed it. But Obama comes along, and guess what? He gets health care passed, which was notch number 5. Now, in order for Obama to get health care passed, he had to violate an order of a law of the Constitution where Americans or any government cannot force you to buy a product. And that law was violated because the mandate, the individual mandate in the health care program said you either must buy or we will fine you. That is unconstitutional. No government can tell you what you can buy, when you can buy, and how you can buy. This is America. We have freedom of choice here. We have freedom of choice about what we purchase, what we want, and what we don't want. The health care, that 2,000-page document, says in the mandate, either you buy or we will fine you. That was unconstitutional. So several smart lawyers, including the Attorney General for the state of Virginia, Ken Cuccinelli, decided, well, we're going to take this to the courts because that's wholly and completely unconstitutional. And nearly every court except one they went to, they were given a green light. This is unconstitutional. But the fighting kept going, and the matter ended up in the Supreme Court. And lo and behold, a, if you will, conservative Supreme Court okayed Obamacare fraud, notch number 6. Now, I need to say here, without saying I told you so, and I don't mean to rub it in the people's face, but I do mean to make it clear that I don't back down, that I said that the court was going to approve Obamacare, and not because it was legit, but because if you destroy Obamacare, which was the one signature piece of legislation that he has put forward, you're going to have to destroy. You're going to have to open up the information that Obama was a CIA operative, that he had connections with Osama bin Laden, that he was a part of the Taliban development back when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, that Obama was a part of that process. The CIA knows it. What information does he have regarding 9/11? All of this Obama holds over the heads of every American person, including the Supreme Court. And so when he wants something done, all he has to do is say, but I've got the information that demonstrates how hypocritical America is. And so that bill passed, which was notch number 6. So here we advance to, and people are still not thinking, they're not praying. They're in a hysteria. When I watch the old women with white hair sitting in bleachers and baseball and basketball parks and games, swooning over Obama, and he's coming out in his shirt and his thin build and his fancy way of talking, and all those white women were having conniptions, and they were just having wet dreams over Obama. And I watched that and I realized this is extremely dangerous. But you know, I've also watched the opposition to Obama who cannot be told the truth. They thought that somehow or another that he was defeatable. And so they were swooning over the idea, we've got the goods, we've got the money, we've got Mitt Romney, we've got the media, we've got this. We don't have to talk about the birth certificate Manning to take him down. We can take him down simply through the vote. And they were in a hysteria. I mean, Dick Morris had people in a maze. I mean, they were all starry-eyed. You should have seen them just before the 2012 election. They reminded me of the 2008 election when the liberals were swooning. These Republicans were swooning. And I said to my God, this is the devil. Look at how the devil has captured the hearts of all of these people. Well, notch number 7, of course, was that he won a second term. He won the 2012 election. Let's move on to notch number 8. Notch number 8 was, of course, the government shutdown. Obama said on several occasions that he was not going to negotiate. Now, Ted Cruz and all you Tea Party caucus and Republicans or whoever it is that you are, I'm not going to negotiate on anything with you. You're going to pass this bill, you're going to raise the debt ceiling, and you're going to stop this talk about Obamacare. I'm not going to negotiate with you. So he called 230 of them over to the White House to tell them, and they all sat down, and before they could pick up their glasses of water, he said to them, I'm not going to negotiate. Now get the hell out of here. And that was that during the 16-day shutdown process. This man stood. Now, I want you to listen to me because I want you to hear me, and maybe I can convince you to become a birther. This man stood time after time before camera after camera and says, I don't care what you do. I'm not going to negotiate. And you're going to open up the government and you're going to raise the debt ceiling. Now, when people talk to me like that, I mean, you know, these are fighting. Don't you talk to me like that. Don't you tell me what you ain't going to do. Don't you tell me that. And Obama stood him. And guess what? Last night, Obama did not budge from, he did not give the Republicans one thing except heartache and grief. That's all. He did not negotiate. He did not budge. Not one thing. Not one thing. Notch number 8. Notch number 9 is Cory Booker, which doesn't get very much attention today. And I'm going to have my own segment on that coming up in just a few moments. But now he has Cory Booker down in Washington in the Senate with him. He's got a liberal to the bone, Democrat, black, bisexual, homosexual, cross-dresser in Cory Booker in the Senate. So last night was a win-win for Obama. Can you see? So when is America, when are the people who, when are you going to get off, when are you going to stop sucking the titties of Bill O'Reilly? When are you going to stop sucking the titties of Rush Limbaugh? When are you going to stop sucking the titties of the Koch brothers? When are you going to stop sucking these men's titties and wake up and start thinking for yourself? America is being destroyed by Obama. You gotta wake up and smell the coffee and recognize that after all these defeats, he's got 9 notches and he's never been beaten at anything. Never been beaten at any. This is unprecedented for Lyndon Johnson, for Ronald Reagan, for Bill Clinton, for George Bush. This is unprecedented. When are you going to wake up and stop sucking these men's titties? Get off of Bill O'Reilly. Get up and start thinking for yourself and recognize there's only one weapon out there that will take Obama down, and it's the birth certificate. I'm James David Manning. I'm the Lord's servant.
All the time.